All right, PUA, Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, update for May 5th. Happy Cinco de Mayo. This is LALATE. As always, stay with us, like the video, and subscribe, because for the first time now, we're taking your comments and answering them live right here on the channel. In fact, I haven't even read some of your comments, and I'm doing them blindly. So here we go. Let's go right to your comments, and then we'll have some updates at the end. Nicholas says, do you think PUA will be extended for the federal part once it ends in July? Yes. Our other video today talked about Nancy Pelosi originally wanted CARES Act to extend to September. It's now indication that it really should be and will be extended. No one thinks that this is over in July. New data out of CDC suggests that there's a second wave that's coming, and that there could be as many as 200,000 new coronavirus cases as early as later this month, and 3,000 deaths per day. And with that type of data, I really don't think that the $600 add-on for PUA will end in July. Tim says, in San Diego, or South Dakota, it says PUA is for anyone that usually doesn't qualify for UI and is a rescinded job offer, if that's one reason to get it. No, it shouldn't be saying that. PUA is not for someone that just ultimately doesn't qualify for UI. In many states, as we've reported, you need to qualify for UI if you're an independent contractor to get rejected. It is a requirement before you apply for PUA. But just because you apply for UI and are denied does not mean you qualify for PUA. They are two different things. Nicholas says, I think a lot of people don't know about PUA. Just go get UI. True, Nicholas, but also untrue is that anyone can get UI. If you're an independent contractor, self-employed, you just will get rejected. You go in there and they'll ask you, are you self-employed? And you say yes, you're going to get rejected. At that point, you really need to know PUA, because UI will not apply to you and you won't get benefits. Rasuli says, I work at home in a home support services part-time 20 hours a week. At the beginning of the year, I started doing gigs here and there. I have part-time. Will I be eligible for PUA as all gigs have stopped? Great question. So PUA is dependent upon what you were doing at the time coronavirus hit. So if I understand your question, if you were only doing gigs at the time that coronavirus hit and you've lost those gigs because of PUA, you're a classic example to be eligible for PUA. You're that last item on the eligibility that talks about reduced work or loss of complete work as an independent contractor because of coronavirus. Jason says, will unemployment be extended from July 31st to December 31st? That's my question. Great question. In some cases it is. It already is. In some cases, when you apply for UI or PUA, it actually says in your profile, you are now approved all the way to December. Many Midwest states actually say you're already approved all the way to December. Now, that doesn't mean you get checks every way all the way to December, but your profile is approved. So if you don't have any change in your life and you certify for benefits weekly, because your state requires you to certify for benefits weekly, then you will get paid all the way to December. That is assuming that you've not used UI before and have limits already in place. Hayden says, thank you for your efforts and informative vids. I actually have a question. If someone has two jobs, this is Hayden's question. If someone has two jobs, one is a W-2, 15 hours a week, still current on and getting wages, but not enough for his family to survive on, and a second job, and the second job is not doing as well, and it's an Uber or Lyft at 25 hours a week, where should he apply? Because he lost 25 hours a week, which is a lot of work. This is a really good question. Unemployment assistance and PUA is really, in a spirit, is for people who have nothing, or they had one thing and the one thing is decreased. If you went to apply for PUA as to the Lyft job and said, unable to drive because of Lyft, so you certainly are eligible because of Lyft, it will ask you whether you worked hours as an employed person during this time. And you will then have to answer yes. if you are qualified as eligible by your state, they will ask you to disclose how much you made for that employment job, even though you are applying for PUA as the Lyft driver. And they will reduce your PUA benefits accordingly. So if your state is paying base benefits of $189 per week, but you made only, $10 as a W-2, you shouldn't be worried about it. But if you made a lot of money as a W-2, you're going to see the implication of that in your daily request for benefits. But do you qualify for it? It's a really tough question. The spirit of PUA and UI is that you have nothing to provide you a benefit at the moment. But you can certainly go through the PUA application, because that is where you belong. You certainly belong in the PUA. You don't belong in the UI. And see what happens and disclose what's happening in your W-2 environment. But expect those benefits to be reduced. Maybe not by a lot. There's a calculation, by the way, online that explains for every state, this explains how you calculate the reduction of benefits on a weekly basis if you work. So you can actually do it yourself if you want to know the analysis before you start. All right, MRoof says, my claim has yet to be approved, still at $0. And there's no certification or payment history. As I stated on 4/28, I called on the 30th. They put me back on call, and a claim specialist, I have yet to hear from them. There are many people like this on Reddit. Many have said they've been calling EDD and has confirmed many claims were lost, and simply to reapply again. Lost? Wow, first time I've heard this. And when the new file claim button lets you. I did on the first, so I guess MRoof reapplied for PUA on the first, and I plan calling tomorrow. I will update you guys when I have new information. I mean, this is horrible that some people who applied for EDD, for PUA with California, the application was lost. I hate to cause any great alarm to everyone else in reading this out loud, but if you're uncertain if that's your situation, everyone else is listening in, and you're in California for PUA applications, click on those buttons. Look at those little tabs. When you sign in, go to Manage Account on the right. Then click on Payment. Click on Claims. Click on Correspondences, and see if there's anything in there. If it's all empty, and you applied on the 28th, you gotta start calling people. I know they are not answering the phone call, but you gotta start moving, because it's been too many days. I just don't buy it that these government agencies haven't done anything on applications from April 28th. It's May 5th now. Paul writes, I'm an Uber driver in California. I applied for PUA on the April 28th. Good. Today, my certification status changed from pending to be paid. Oh, for the weeks ending April 18th to April 25th. Hope I'll be getting a check soon. That's a little strange, and I'll tell you why. Paul, if you go into payments, if you've been approved, and this is for everyone else, if you've been approved for PUA, go into certify for benefits. As I told you for California, once you're approved for PUA, thank God you are, you go into certify for benefits. As it says, in full disclosure on the front of the website now, you only have to do it once. So click on certify for benefits, click the button, and when you certify from March to July, and that's it. And you will instantly be shot out into the payment system. Here he talks about only getting payments for 7 days. So I think, Paul, you have to do the next step. And let me address for everyone what happens next. And I think there's a big issue that I haven't addressed yet on the channel. When does your money come in California? So there are two things, and I haven't made this clear to you, I'm sorry. There are two things as to how your payment will come in California, and it's doing strange things in other states also. In California, your weekly benefits, your $169 per week, for every week from March to July, will come in at least 4 weeks on a debit card mailed to the address of your application. Now, it's normally 4 weeks for the debit card. It could be backed up longer than that. But your $600 per week federal add-on that goes from March to July, I think that's coming in the form of a paper check to your home address. In other states, I'm not certain, but I think in other states they're doing that. In other states, they are sending the weeklies to the direct deposit or by the debit card, and then the federal 600 is coming another way. And it's like, oh, okay, here it is. So if you see payments coming for the weekly but not the federal, and you're like, where the hell's my federal? I want my federal. Where's my federal? Don't worry. It's coming another way. And drop in the comments if you get your federal another way. I know in California and some other states it's coming by paper check, not by the debit card. Karubal says, I applied for PUA. I made a mistake on the last 18 months employer question. Should I put a yes? I'm pretty sure I won't qualify regular UI since I earned a certain amount. Going to wait for the small mail, but I'm checking UI every day. Yes, Kimball or Cruemble. Check every day. Check these websites every day. They change in the late afternoon. You'll know if you made a mistake, but there is nothing wrong in a PUA application indicating that you work for an employer in 2019. Because again, PUA is what happened to you in 2020. Brandon says, I received an award letter in the mail. I'm self-employed. I'm just waiting to receive the paperwork and debit card. Well, if you sign up for everything for electronic notice on the website, you will see it on the website first. The paperwork comes at least a week or longer thereafter. John says, I applied for PUA on April 28th, and on May 2nd, I went to log in to try to file a new claim. I don't know why I was filing a new claim. It shows my applications are I don't know if there's two or one, in process, but on May 4th, I logged in to click on file a new claim. It went through. Oh, great. I was wondering if it went through. Is it because my application, why it went through? Is it because my application had been denied? You know, John, this is all sort of strange. I had heard people who were doing multiple applications before PUA even existed for UI, pressing and finally one got processed. And you'll hear in the comment earlier today that I just read that people were on a Reddit group saying, refile PUA, do it again, that they lost them. I don't know. I don't want to represent, I know that that's what's going on there, but it's scary. China cat art and animation says, will PUA be backdated? Yes, it will. Will it be paid out weekly or in one lump sum? Some states it's one lump sum. Other states it's weekly. I applied for UI on April 7th, but stated I've been out of work since March 1st. Love your show and your voice. Oh, I wish I could hear your voice too. It is backdated. So the way PUA works is it goes back to March. Now, I'll fully state, and I said this before on the channel, the CARES Act says PUA is supposed to pay benefits backwards to the date of your impact. So if you're impacted in March and you list March as the date of impact, that is when you're supposed to get the benefits back to them. A lot of states are not paying the benefits back. I don't know why, and I don't know who to complain to about. And that's a big issue because the 600 throw-on additional from federal government goes back all the way to March as well and goes forward to July. Amy. Hey there, I'm self-employed. I think she means self-employed. I'm from Seattle. I applied 2 weeks ago. Still no money and still pending. I'm not sure will I be approved or not. 2 weeks is too long. I would do something else. I would get on the phone and call them. I know they're not answering the phones, but 2 weeks is not enough time. Jermaine, I applied for PUA, self-employed in California, April 30th. May 2nd. I saw an update and said my payout. I'm self-employed, called EDD on May 2nd. The person, she actually got through. Hey, she got through on May 2nd. The person I spoke to verified I was approved, but I would not be getting my debit card for at least a month because of backlog. Is that true? Yes, it is true. In California, normally you don't get your debit card for at least 4 weeks. I'm now worried you're not going to get it for a lot longer. Anyone who gets their debit card in California for EDD, for PUA, please drop in the comments. I have a feeling I'm not going to see that comment for at least 2 to 3 weeks after this video is produced. Ricardo, hey, love your channel. Love the way you deliver. One question. PUA is so complicated. Yeah, it is. I live in New York. I'm self-employed. PUA is only $600 or I get more. No, you'll get more. You'll get your base level benefits of your state. So if whatever your state is, it's all published online. You just type in base level unemployment state, and it actually is every state on one page. It's anywhere from like 130 to 189. So you'll get that per week plus $600 on top of that from the federal government for every week you're impacted from the month of March all the way to July. I used my 2018 gross when I applied. Great. I'm not going to state on camera what your gross was, but based upon what you said, you need to apply for escalated benefits. So when you get approved, you do what I told you. You get that return out, your 2018 return, scan it into PDF, write a cover letter, scan that into PDF, or convert it into PDF on your on your computer, and basically say, hey, thank you for approving me for PUA benefits. I think I qualify for maximum benefits. I want to have my benefits increased, and maximum benefits in my state are, I think I qualify. Please review. Thank you. Include your PUA approval number and your social security number on the on the letter so they see it, and upload it into the website of your state. Grandma, I applied for PUA on the 28th. I'm an IC, a little confused. Do I wait for a letter for PUA or do I check online? No, you check online. Every state posts it online in your portal. Isn't the EDD portals only for regular unemployment information? I'm in California. No. Every state is doing PUA in their unemployment portals. So they only have one portal for it. The only difference is in California, there is no separate tab in that portal for PUA. It is you go in, I think it's called UI, you sign in, you click right on Manage Claims, you go in there, and that's where you see it. On other states, you will see a tab inside the portal that is PUA. Dexter, I applied 428 for PUA. Doesn't show anything on Certify tab. Yeah, that's a concern. I would give a few more days, but I would start calling. This, I know what's going to happen with this channel in a few days from now. A few of you are going to keep on saying, haven't heard anything. And I don't know what the progress is on this. I don't know what's on the silence situation with a lot of you. A lot of you have heard nothing, and I don't know what's going on. You saw my comment. You saw what the person said in the previous comment about the Reddit group. It's disconcerting if applications have been lost, but I don't know if that's true. Dicey, I keep on hearing that PUA is only for independents, not W-2 workers, but I'm a part-time W-2 and I normally qualify for state UI. I originally heard that I qualify for PUI as well. I applied for EID. Well, okay. I applied for PUA last Wednesday in California. Other tubers say I can apply for PUA. Well, God bless them. They're wrong. Yeah, that's why you can't be a 22-year-old tuber that sells real estate and talk about PUA. PUA is for independent contractors and self-employed individuals. It's as simple as that. It is not for W-2 people. But if you are a W-2 person who is impacted because of coronavirus, and I'm sorry you are, you can get unemployment benefits. And they are the same as PUA benefits. Did she apply for UI? No. So Dicey, go and apply for UI. Go and apply for UI and listen to this channel, subscribe to this channel, and stop listening to other people. All right. Terrence. No, John. John, I found one of your videos, and I want to send you a message. My situation was I was denied for unemployment. I want to see if I can get back into the PUA because I also may work for a company, but I also have a startup business I did on the side, but I didn't send any letter why I was denied or disqualified for it. Okay, so John, I don't know what state you're... You're in California. So, John, if you applied for PUA and it looks like, your message was on May 1st. So if you applied for PUA in California and you haven't heard anything back, follow what I'm doing what I'm talking about in this video. You're gonna have to go into the site every day, go to the right, click Manage Claim, click around. I want you to stay with this channel because I fear that this is going to balloon in the next 2 to 3 days, this PUA situation in California, that people are not hearing anything about their PUAs. And you heard before that someone said that PUA's claims maybe have been lost in California. I don't know that's true, but it's very disconcerting. If you applied on April 28th, which I think you probably did, I would get up very early and call EDD one morning. Now, if you're asking about your other businesses, you may work for a company. Well, if you do work for a company, you can disclose it. You can work for someone while on PUA, you just disclose it, and it reduces your weekly benefits. Or has you come off of PUA if it's full-time job. I also have a startup business I did on the side. Well, I don't know what the context of the startup business is. If the startup business is impacted because of PUA, because of coronavirus, then you qualify as well. All right, big one from, who wrote this? Evan. This is all from Evan. All right. I try to watch your PUA videos to get a grip on how it applied to my situation. Seems the New York questions are a bit different than yours. They shouldn't be, but I'm going to try my best. Okay, question 1. Was your place of employment closed as a direct result of COVID-19? Okay, so you are, what he's doing here, Evan, is he quoting the eligibility questions. These eligibility questions are universal. They're in every state. They're the same 12 questions. And we said in the very first video, you generally go to the last one, which is, as a result of COVID-19, your employment has been reduced either fully or partially. It can be reduced partially. But he's talking about some of the other questions. So was your place of employment closed as a direct result of COVID-19? He says, I do freelance video. The theater is not my employer, correct. And the client is not my employer, correct. I don't know if that's a yes or no. Well, I see what he's doing. Evan, when you see these questions, I see what his state does. When you see these eligibility questions, you only need one yes to be eligible. You don't need 20 yeses. Most states just say, which grounds are you applying for? You go through and you click that button, that's yours. I guess what Evan is saying is in New York, the PUA application suggests everything is a yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, which is screwy. It shouldn't be that way. You should just scroll through and find the one for yours. So the short answer for you, Evan, is you only need one, and that's yours. So was your employment closed as a direct result of COVID-19? No. That's a no. Are you or were you unable to reach your place of employment due to an imposed quarantine or advised by a medical professional? I'm not going to read your medical condition out loud. It doesn't sound like, oh, that's it? Oh, so he only cited the 2. Evan, what I would recommend, because Evan is a freelance video recorder who does work with theater shows. Great job, Evan. And the theaters are closed, that you should look for the last one on the eligibility page where these questions are. Go to the last one, Evan, where it says, as a result of coronavirus, were you either reduced to no employment or partial employment? It's the last one. And that one's a yes. All you have to do is say yes to that one. The other ones, they can be a yes or they can be a no. If they're all no's, it doesn't matter. You only need one yes. That's the law. To get PUA, you only need one yes for eligibility. You don't need 20 yeses or 2 yeses. You only need one yes. So I think if you are sitting home and watching this video on your phone, and you are a filmmaker and you work for a theater and you're an independent contractor and that theater is closed, and or you're a wedding photographer and you have your own wedding photographer business and all the weddings, and you only do them at this one hotel and the hotel is closed, that's the last criteria. So, new way to do this channel today, answering your questions. And PUA was all this. PUA, EIDL grant, EIDL loan, CARES Act. A lot of great stuff today. Comment below. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. Or feature your answers on this channel. As always, subscribe, like the video, and stay FLA for more.